It's funny because we've used AI for actually like a couple of years now. We've used it to summate a lot of our videos that we put out, or give us an overview of what we've been doing. I use it for school the last couple of years, and doing a PhD for lectures, just to give me a breakdown of notes, which then I just did then take and do it, not to build any kind of talks or any kind of papers or anything like that. And there's a lot of checkers now that will check all those things. In fact, even in Google Docs, there's now a new application in some versions where you can see right away, like you click on AI indicator and it will show you how much of it's made with AI. So I have like Grammarly Pro, which helps you reframe what you write, but it's interesting because it rewrites it into a very similar format all the time. And so you start to sound more like the computer than like yourself. So sometimes I leave in how it sounds, even though it's trying to rewrite it to be more grammatically acceptable. I'm trying to make it sound a little more natural, so it doesn't feel like it's just AI generated. Because I've sat all the time to write these things and to write all the history, get all the background of it. And as soon as it goes to change it, it's taking all that stuff out. So
it's one of those things that's just like so silly, because I mean, it's the same concept with like a calculator and like the invention of the calculator, and how they like, oh no, you can't use calculators on this test and stuff like. But in the real world, I'm going to use a calculator.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the same way with like AI for whenever it comes to school. And it's just like, okay, I mean, I understand that they're trying to make sure that you understand the concepts and learning it and stuff like that. But like AI is still going to be the tool that you use. And it's just one of those things that it's going to get better and replace things that we needed to do before. Right. And then now we have the creative brain space to do other things. So like the concept of making our sermon bumpers and other videos and stuff like that. Now I don't have to go out there and like shoot all these scenes and stuff like that. I can just create them. And if they're not like, oh, this prompt didn't give me what I needed, okay, well, just type in a new prompt and get it to produce another thing.
And even though we're spending money to buy like, buy the amount of times you can run it and all those other things, it's not even close to comparable to what you would do just to do one shoot.
Yeah.
Because it's like the amount of energy and power to drive somewhere and get actors there and get lighting there and get power there. All the things that you do, unless you're going to shoot here at like our facility somehow, which we'd have to have like a green screen room or something. And even then, it's still, you got to be able to chroma key and do all the other things to make it look that same way. Whereas you're creating these whole characters out of nowhere. I know we started dialoguing, you're like, what do you think this concept would be? And we started kind of creatively talking together about it. And it was like, well, what if we, made it be like a news desk and they're interviewing somebody? And so you ran with that, and then you make the anchors look a certain way. We're like, well, what if like one was African American, one was Asian American? It's like, what if they do like this, or they look like this, and the interview's like this? And so you start to like talk about that, because you want to reflect like who's in our collective, like who's in our gathering. So it's like, oh yeah, we want to do this, and it's interesting because you could put all those things together and just change it so fast.
Yeah. And then talking about the filming and stuff like that, like the biggest issue with that is like, even whenever you're filming and you're on set and you're looking at it through your little tiny monitor, and you're like, oh, this is perfect, this is great, this is what I want. And then you go back to the studio or wherever we're working at on the computer space, and you actually throw it on the computer. I'm like, oh no, everything's out of focus.
Right.
There's all this extra background noise that I didn't hear whenever I was filming it. And like, I already filmed this, so now like that's the stuff that I have to work with.
People are gone. Yeah, this is your raw. This is what you're doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Versus like the strength of having the AI. I'm like, oh no, like this person has a British accent. Okay, I'll just change his dialogue to make him sound more American, and then it'll give me an American accent.
At what point are you just going to use my audio of me doing a talk to camera and just like delete me out? More handsome, more muscles, less fat, bit smaller nose. Whatever it is, just like doing those things. It like looks like a 20-year-old version. I'm like, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's like insane,
Yeah.
Get like it's like a digital avatar, but like the Instagram version, Instagram filter version.
Even the video softwares that we're working with and like their implementation of AI, they're just making things stronger and stronger. Like I just recently read that Premiere Pro has a feature with AI that it extends your clips. And so like whenever you, you make your film and you're just not quite long enough, through the power of AI, it'll just make it longer.
More. So you could do a different transition or do something. Wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like that stuff would be super handy on times whenever I film. I'm like, I just needed a little bit more of a clip.
To sync with music, or to have an exit, or to have that moment longer.
Like one of the examples is like our announcements and stuff like that. I create transitions in our announcements, and I learned from filming it the first couple of times whenever I was doing those that you need a couple of seconds on the back end and the
Yes.
front end for that transition piece. Otherwise, you're cutting into their speech,
Right.
and like they sound a lot more rushed. And if you have somebody who talks like a million miles a minute and you cut into his speech already, then it's like just makes him seem even faster than he
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah, that's very insightful. We were talking with one of our friends, Joven, and he was talking so fast. Obviously he can process that fast, so he's just talking really fast, and that's coming from me, and I talk fast.
There's also a little bit of nerves too. Like it was his first time in front of a camera, and like anybody's first time in front of a camera,
yeah, for sure.
you're gonna talk way faster than what you normally do.
Yeah, I was listening to some comedians talk on a podcast, and they were saying that if you feel you're doing, like they're talking about if you're doing stand up, like if you, especially when you're filming a special, but even if you're in front of a crowd, they're saying if you feel like you're doing bad, slow down, and if you feel like you're doing good, slow down.
Yeah.
And so the point is like, because you just want to speed up to like, oh, I need to get through the next bit if I'm doing good, or if I need to get through this if I'm doing bad. They're like, no, reset it.
Yep.
Slow down. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting,
Yeah, for sure.
Insightful. Have you used AI at all, like in some of your applications that we've been doing?
I haven't really used it a whole lot. Because I haven't really needed to in my applications, but I see it as an incredible tool.
Yeah.
I see what Jeremy has done, and so because he's got more experience with it, if there's been anything that I need, I'm like, hey, Jeremy, can you
100%.
help me out with this? Just because my learning curve would be, far more.
Yeah.
But it's just wild what you can do with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I will say it's been interesting with us because this last year we kind of upgraded our visual look of what we do in our gatherings for our stage. We already had projection. We already had wide projection. We had really big projection. We had multi-screen sharing projection, which is like really wide and looks cinematic. But the jump from projection, even good projection, to LED walls was a completely different experience.
Unbelievable.
Really, really cool. It also was a ton of work.
It was so much work. I mean, it's cool. Like it's one of those things that like once you learn how it works and like how to build it and stuff, it really just opens the world to the possibilities and the what we can build and stuff like that. Like when we first flew in, helped to build our giant wall.
Yeah.
And they pretty much did. I mean, they didn't pretty much. They did do the whole entire process.
Yeah, we helped them do it, but they were the ones guiding the way. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And they taught us some little bit of troubleshooting and stuff like that. And like that's been kind of the biggest learning factor is just like whenever things broke after they left, and like, oh well, now it's up to the tech team and trying to figure out and figure out how to fix it, get it up, and get it running, and what the problem was. And then building our entry wall was a really good learning experience because that taught me how to program this stuff. And so now that I have that knowledge, we can then in turn take it and build more things. And we plan on building more things. And it's like, oh yeah, okay. Once we have all these pieces, I know how to map them so that way we can get our creative elements onto them.